So today, I want to talk to the people who are starting projects or the people who are already doing some projects back home in Zimbabwe. It might be the people who are in Diaspora who does have a dream, who are determined to start projects back home. Or maybe the people that are already back home in Zimbabwe who are already doing some projects but with a little expertise, but they are willing to succeed. So I need to talk to you guys today, because today I got 5 questions that you need to ask yourself before you start the project, because these questions are going to determine if you are ready for this, if you are ready to start my projects. Because my projects are not something that you just fall into and start, just like what we assume, because since everybody are doing projects back home, everybody can do it. There are certain questions, there are certain things that you have to look into, that you have to follow. There are certain rules for you to be successful in projects. But some of the people are failing. Anotanga projects, but they just think you just fall into a project, then most of the people are kunyora, because they did not ask themselves these 5 questions that I'm about to give you now. The first question is, do I have the ability to do the project? Project it's not something you sit on a tarot you can just fall into. Not everybody have the ability. Not everybody can do my projects. Because we are watching people doing projects by YouTube and stuff like that, then we think maybe just like a walkover thing that we can do it. And most of the people are even right now saving some cash who donate my projects back home. But they don't understand what it entails to do a project. They don't understand what is involved in my project. They don't understand the requirements that is needed for you to be successful in my projects. Because I know most of the people come with my project just like that, out of the blues. And most of them are failing. The trial and error. And some of them are learning through the process, of which was to lose a cash. But if you don't want to lose cash, ask your question, do I have the ability to do the project? Do I have the knowledge, the know-how of the project that I want to do? So you have to research about the project that you want to do. And if you do not have that ability, you have to acquire that ability. It's either you can go and learn from other people who are doing projects, expertise, or maybe you have to go to school for that. Because we don't need just to rush with my project just because other people are doing. Take your time. Because the most important thing is you need a lucrative project that can give you money, that can pay you, that can make you survive, that can make you never to regret going back to Diaspora again. So many people, like I said, they don't go jump around with my projects because they just want to do it because other people are doing. No. Research. If you don't have the ability, you have to acquire that. Go back and learn. It doesn't matter how long it's going to take, but at the end of the result, you know what you want. Because after learning and after you've equipped yourself with the ability, that means you are good to go. You are good to go. But remember, learning is an ongoing process. Kana what zids about my projects, acquire knowledge. You must keep on learning. You must keep getting involved in nema groups, farming and stuff like that. My groups, my projects, so that at least you can keep on learning more and more things. You can learn about market. You can learn on how to sell your products. You can learn a lot of things that's gonna make you successful. So it's not a matter of having a land. Tomatoes, then you just sell. There's a lot involved. My tomatoes are not like one day. To those people who are doing my tomatoes can comment in the comment section and tell us the challenges they have faced. And the challenge they have faced, they asking us to say, because that is involved. Zangufane ku baramwana, mukukura kwe mwana, you have to take care of the child. Kutakure zvakanaka. You have to take the child to the clinic. Kutanga chibayo my injections are not diwa. You have to, it's something that you need to learn. You need to learn. It's not like you just wake up and do something. So you must ask yourself, do I have the ability to do the project? If you don't have it, don't be afraid. You can do the project, but you have to acquire that ability. You have to acquire that knowledge. You have to go to school to learn it. You have to research. You have to use Google. Now there's ChatGPT. You can ask ChatGPT whatever that you want to ask it. But sometimes you need to go one expertise. People who can give you that expertise so that you can be good to go. So never say, I'm just going to do my project and learn while I'm in there. Because you're going to lose a lot of money. You're going to lose big time. So take your time. Because if you just want to jump into my project, this is what we call my shortcuts. And my shortcuts are expensive. Why? Because uchaita inonzi trial and error, like I said, you're going to assume, then you fail, then you restart again, then all this kind of thing is also time consuming. Than just to go and acquire a skill, learn to my broilers, I know change to say, learn to my tomatoes, I know to say my cabbages, whatever, so that could you remind also. Learn all those things so that you can be successful. The other point is, do I have the patience? Am I willing to wait for the results? Or am I a person who want to succeed immediately? Do I have that the ability to wait for the time? Dine patience here. Because if you don't have patience, ucha jamba from one project to chenda panerimwe. Why? Because no goes each a cheat. Or don't my change because my project they are not like my get rich quick schemes. Not like that. You need to be patient. They take time. They take time. So you need to be a person who can wait. A person. I know so I know this thing they're gonna take about 3 or 4 or 5 months, then I have to wait, then I can start selling my things, Because sometimes you might end up rushing things, then you end up walking so to maybe zunazitis, or end up failing. Now you're jumping into other things. And those things, if they don't give you what you want, then you end up jumping into other things again. Project requires a person who does have patience. Without patience, you won't make it in that industry. Because money requires patience. Cannot that marry, patience wombe, And you have to be also patient with the people that you are working with. Because kuna wanu gonna disappoint amnesha kawanda, unona disappoint wa futi nezunza ono jara, unona disappoint wa lese waita okudzako, zopfa zafa and all the other stuff, then you get disappointed. So you need to be patient, knowing that at the end of the day you're going to achieve. No matter chorokanz wafiro ne uku, but know that utishunzu no waniku. You don't have to give up. You have to keep pushing. Because at the end of the tunnel, there is light. So a person without patience gives up quickly. Are you that kind of a person who gives up quickly? Kana uriwe, it will be difficult for you to do my projects. Unless you have to learn to be patient, that is when it's going to work for you. A lot of people, and if you're one of that person, can you comment in the comment section, how did you overcome it? How did you become patient? How did you learn to be patient? Because these things, guys, when it comes to farming, when it comes to projects, you require patience. The third question you must ask yourself, do I have the financial discipline? Let's assume you have the ability to do farming, you do have the patience, everything. Now you're selling your stuff, you're making money. Do you have the ability to control your finances? Are you disciplined? Because most of the people, they end up taking my proceeds. Wakunotenga zuzunona magunanzi, or maybe wakunotenga motor, my Lamborghini, like my GD6 and all the other stuff, vasatva kura, sterek. Because the money that you get, unofanga kuizorera mu system food, so that you have to reinvest it more and more. It's not about uchangotanga project, then wakutanga tora maria, wakutanga kutenga is very expensive. Ngotengo shansa mari just like that, impulse buying, all those kind of thing. You need to reinvest into projects so that you can generate more and more money. So do you have that financial discipline? If you don't have it, you don't need to worry. You can learn, You can use like Google can teach you, YouTube can teach you, ChatGPT can teach you, or even go to the institution where they can teach you like business management and stuff like that, So when you're equipped with the knowledge of financial discipline, you are good to go. Because if you don't have that financial discipline, you are a distraction to yourself. You can make it in the first phase of the ability. You can make it the second phase of patience, but you might fall there. Because no rasha and all that stuff. So project requires somebody who does have patience with money. Money needs patience. That is the philosophy of money. Money needs patience. Mari haigari painongoraswa mari inogara painotorwa nguva kuti wava nayo mari wogara pasi on the table. Then you start thinking, you start planning kuti okay, now I got $100,000 ndakuita sei, wakuikana maproject wakukana kwasiyana siyana, not wawanayo wakutofona wakutotsvaga kuti wakutoda like a GD6 wakutoda mota yakanaka and stuff like that. No, tenga zvinhu zvako neungwaru, ita zvinhu uchiziva kuti tomorrow there is tomorrow. Ita that my project and that tanga needs to grow. It can be sustainable for the rest of my life and even the generation to come. So don't another financial discipline. Like I said, if you don't have that discipline, you can learn it. It's something that can be learned. No badango zara today one that skill. People, they have to learn how to be disciplined when it comes to money. The fourth one, do I have the right people around me? Because my project, some guys, you need to have the people who does have your vision, the people who understand where you're coming from and where you want to go, Because if you have the people and what you don't at the other side, you won't even go anywhere. So you must have the right people. That's when you have to have the human resources ability, of how to choose the right people who can carry the burden that you have. Because it's a heavy thing, guys. Kuti kana usiri ground, people, they must know what you want and they must carry on doing what you should have done. Because some people, why not at the moment you turn your back, wind up maybe market or maybe urugaro diaspora, they can sit around. And wana huku dzichifa dzikupiwa mshonga mbudzi dziri kuita like murunza zvirimwa zviri kudima tomatoes ari kuora, because those people, they don't share your vision. You require a person who shares your vision. Those are the people who you must put close to you. Because in reality, guys, kune vamwe vanhu vanongoti kwatungoda mari chete, we just want to work for money. So you must have the ability to tsvaga vanhu ivo vanokwanisa share your vision. You must do some tests. It's not about just recruiting and whatever wakutora munhu. Ndopadiwa human resources ability, guys. Mune maproject atinoitaga munodiwa zvinhu zvakawandisa. You must learn a lot of things. Yes, no one watora hama youya chisenza nese and all that. But does that relative share the same vision? Kuinona kukatira pasi kudonedza pasi. So you need the right people at the right place so that your projects can be successful. Without that, you die. You become, unoruza zvako, Sorry guys, I did not find the right word. But the thing is you must have the right people at the right place on your projects. Vanhu vakawanda vari kudonha nowadays. Vanhu vakawanda vari kudonha pama projects because vari kutora vanhu vari wrong, Because sometimes you might look for cheaper labor. Cheaper labor ndo inongona unza people are wrong. But a person who's being paid zvano deserve can carry your vision to another level because I know that he's going to benefit more and more. But a person who wants to pay just like cheap labor and all that other stuff, Antona, there is no need. Why kere? So also pay the people who are helping you. That's another thing. Otherwise, your project will go down. The fifth point, do I have a clear plan? Because in everything you require plans. Do you know what you want to achieve in my projects, Ako? Are you just doing my project so that vamwar quit? Or you're doing my project so that it becomes a business? You can financially sustain yourself. Do I have the clear lines, clear steps to achieve what I want to achieve? Do I have a 5-year term plan that is in place for my projects? Or maybe I'm just doing what I'm going to go to run a map. I just have to follow where the wind is going. You need to have a clear plan. A clear plan that you're going to follow. You can even do like a business plan. Because the project it's already a business. You must have a plan, a clear plan, so that you know the steps that you're taking to achieve the $1 million that you want. And the plan to know to my seasons. Agamira say, teach no plan to my seasons. Agadai. Kana season yagadai ukudzangu zofawa dzine hiti yakadai so zvikasiyana siyana. So that goes to the first question. Do I have the ability to do the project? That's when you go to the institution, you're going to dzidza about farming, my projects and stuff like that. And the bonus question, guys, the last one that I'm going to give you, is like, am I mentally ready for this project? Because in a project that you're going to be doing, there's a lot of mistakes that you're going to get. You're going to be depressed. There's a lot of things that you're going to meet. You're going to be stressed with a lot of stuff. It might be the employees. It might be the products. It might be the, like his Fuozako, the chifa and all that other stuff. Are you mentally ready to stand that? That is the biggest question you have to ask yourself, because you're already running a business and you already invested a lot of money into that, into those projects. So if you start losing, tomatoes akatanga kuora, huku zikatanga kufa, nezvirwere zvakasiyana siyana, mbudzi zikatanga kufa, are you ready mentally kuzvitambira zvinhu izvozvo or not? If you are the weakest person, you won't be able to do my projects. You're going to give up, or maybe you might suffer heart attack and stuff like that. So you have to ask yourself the question, am I mentally ready for this or not? If you are not, you have to train yourself to be strong. Otherwise, you won't like what you're going to meet. So no other guys could inject a lot of money into a project. They know one out of the blues, maybe they say uku, maybe order uka, but 100,000, one at they say zakafa. Mari, it's a lot of cash. How are you going to feel? Uno feel a say. Apa iwango watarisira maybe uku izondo chakusumudza kusa pa another level. But you find zafa zese. How are you going to stand that? So you must be mentally ready to stand it and to accept it. Those not come business. Those need to come a projects, so that you'll be able to move to the next step. Because right today, you don't have to give up because of that. You have to carry your vision, no matter what, regardless of the problem that you're facing, regardless of the mistakes of whatever that's happening, negative or whatsoever. You have to carry that vision. So until next time, guys, don't forget to subscribe, share, and like. Cheers.